Teams, teamwork, and team-based decision-making are so important in business that there has been mountains of research and thousands of books written on the subject. TeamMate is designed to help you and your team monitor, analyze, train, and evaluate your behaviors. But why is that so important? To answer that question, we are going to look at the importance of teams, effective team functioning, stages of team development, critical success factors for team performance. Let's start with you. You have a lot on your plate. You are building your expertise in a certain area, you are busy, and you might be thinking, with everything else I have to do, why does all this teamwork stuff matter? For a very important reason. Your ability to perform well in a team will have a direct impact on your career path. Research shows that over 90% of Fortune 500 companies use work teams. Whether you look at large or small, public or private, profit or nonprofit organizations, you discover the most important decisions are generally made by a team of people rather than by an individual. Why? Because teams have the potential to outperform individuals, especially on more complex tasks and problems. Complex problems require multiple skill sets, diverse judgment, and experience to solve effectively. Plus, teams have the potential to be more flexible and more responsive to change in fast-paced work environments. I want to talk about what separates effective and ineffective teams, but let's start with a definition. What exactly is a team? Teams are two or more individuals working together adaptively, interdependently, and dynamically toward a common goal. This definition encompasses all teams, and yet all teams don't look alike. For example, in some teams, everyone has similar expertise and comes together to accomplish a particular project, like architects designing a new building. The majority of teams in business, however, are cross-functional. They are made up of people from distinctively different business divisions such as marketing, research and development, and manufacturing. Cross-functional teams are used to solve problems or generate creative ideas that impact the whole organization. Regardless of the type of team, the effective functioning of any team involves an ever-changing system that can be thought of in terms of inputs, processes, and outputs. Inputs means everything that existed before the team began to perform its current task, such as the skills of the individuals themselves, the environment they are operating in, and their time constraints or deadline. Process represents how inputs are ultimately transformed into outputs or performance. For example, how team members communicate and cooperate with one another, as well as the extent to which individual efforts can be integrated into overall team performance. Finally, outputs is what the team achieves. Output is the activities, products, or services generated by the team. Teams perform two key operations we call task work and teamwork. Task work entails accomplishing the required operational or technical tasks at hand. It is what you do, whereas teamwork entails actions that facilitate coordination, cooperation, and adaptive performance. It's how you do it. Teams go through different developmental stages and are always actively changing. There are 5 commonly cited stages of team development. The forming stage is when you are pulling the team together. It can be an uncertain sort of a stage in which most of the effort involves defining the team's purpose and structure and how you'll work together. In the storming stage, team members discuss and debate the types of processes, tasks, and goals they are going to set. In the norming stage, things settle down a bit. Team members develop a common set of expectations about what defines acceptable and unacceptable team member behavior. In the performing stage, the team's processes are applied in order to accomplish team tasks and goals. Finally, in the adjourning stage, the team prepares to disband and attention is devoted to wrapping up any remaining activities. I want to make 3 points about this. First, I'm sorry to say that teams don't necessarily get better as they move through these stages. Second, While the stages seem clear, team effectiveness is actually pretty complex and affected by a wide range of factors, so the process is very fluid. And third, the nature of the task at hand and the type of team has a strong impact on a team's developmental cycle. For example, some teams have ample time to work through these stages, while others are on a tight deadline and have to move quickly. Now that we've discussed the foundational aspects of teams and their functioning, let's look at the various factors that contribute to team success. An effective team relies on effective team members. There are critical success factors at both the individual and team level. Teams are comprised of individuals, therefore the way each individual behaves will impact both the others in the team and how the team performs as a collective unit. There have been several decades of research on the qualities of effective teams. From that research, 9 distinct critical success factors emerge. 4 of these are individual success factors around performance. We call them the 4 Ps: performance preparation, performance execution, performance monitoring, and performance adjustment behaviors. The other 5 are team success factors around interaction. We call them the 5 Cs: cooperation, coordination, cohesion, confidence, and conflict. Let's discuss each one, starting with the 4 Ps, which, remember, are individual factors. Performance preparation, which involves analyzing and planning activities that enable the team to perform. For example, someone writes a list of the main tasks to be accomplished this week. Someone else shares a relevant article. Performance execution, which involves collaborating and accomplishing team tasks. It's individuals sharing the workload. Performance monitoring, which involves assessing and evaluating ongoing team performance. It's individuals being willing to recognize there was a mistake or discrepancy in the team's performance and being willing to raise it and work it through. Performance adjustment, which involves adapting and generating improvements to team performance. Someone refers to the Teamwork Toolkit, for example, and shares a tip for solving performance problems. Now to the team success factors, or what we would call the 5 Cs. Cooperation. The goal here is high-quality reciprocal exchanges of information between team members. This is team members helping one another with their individual assignments. Coordination entails the integration of individual efforts toward accomplishing team goals. It's when the team clarifies the individual responsibilities of each person in the context of overall team functioning. Cohesion is shared commitment and affinity toward the team as a whole. It's important that everyone is dedicated to the team's goals. Confidence. That's an overall belief that the team has the capability to perform successfully. Sure, there will be problems, but team members are confident that their team is adaptive and can overcome challenges and obstacles. Finally, conflict. You all know what that means. It's the level of disagreement and friction among team members. Does the team, for example, experience personality clashes, and how does it deal with that? So we know what a team is, and we know 9 critical success factors, some individual and some team-level success factors, necessary for peak performance. Just a few other points to keep in mind. First, the effectiveness of the team relies on the effectiveness of its individual members. The 4 Ps do align in a sequence to ultimately lead to team performance, and the 5 Cs serve as crucial facilitators of this sequence. In other words, individual team member behaviors create the team's performance, and the team factors support more successful performance. Second, performance in teams is dynamic and ever-changing. This means that all the critical success factors will be repeatedly important for success over time. Third, remember that both task work and teamwork are required for success. The teamwork factors enable and promote task work, but they are not a substitute for it. Finally, the critical success factors are not mutually exclusive, nor is teamwork a zero-sum proposition. Instead, a more is better approach to engaging in these teamwork behaviors is the best strategy. Good luck.